Hey, Hawkeye fans, welcome back. Well, the Hawks are coming off a big win over Maryland, and we've got a fantastic interview, probably one of our favorites from this season with Hayden Large today. We hope that you love it. And of course, we got another game coming up this week, but it's on Friday, the Black Friday game versus Nebraska. We're going to be previewing that. Thanks again for coming back. This is Talkin' Hawks, presented by Hills Bank.
No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed.
Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals.
It's easy to connect with a banker in person, over the phone, or on hillsbank.com.
Because we believe banking is better through human connection.
Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
Hello, Matt.
Hey.
How's it going?
God, it's good.
How was your weekend?
Another day, another win.
How was your weekend?
It was good.
It was good?
It was good.
Good. We just got back from a trip.
Yeah, we did.
We got back from a trip, and then I totally overbooked myself for the weekend.
Yep.
And Matt had to hang with the children.
Yep.
While I was out doing things.
After the long travel back, but yes.
Phew. Yeah. We went to Florida. It was lovely. We went to Universal Studios.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was really great.
Yeah, and it was just long enough. Left, Tuesday morning?
Mm-hmm.
Went to the pool that night. Went to Islands of Adventure on Wednesday. Went to the other side, Universal. I think it's just Universal Studios on Thursday. Flew back Friday.
Friday morning. Yeah.
Friday morning.
Bright and early.
Yeah.
It was a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It was good. And then the Hawks got a win
Mm-hmm.
on Saturday. And of course, we're going to recap that. Let's see what else. Then Saturday night, Iowa wrestling
Yeah.
took on Iowa State. 20 wins in a row. Did you know that?
Iowa over Iowa State or
Yeah.
Iowa period?
I wish I would have asked you that as a trivia question. No, Iowa
You
over.
could just do it now.
No,
'cause I
yeah.
know
Do you
the
know how
answer.
many wins? Like, what's the win streak of Iowa over Iowa State?
20.
20. That's right. We're going to send you home with a Hawkeye prize pack. Congratulations. Everybody give it up for Matt. Well done. Nice job, guys. Matt, can I get your loudest go Hawks? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Go Hawks.
This is literally what I did on Saturday night. I asked that trivia question to a group of boys.
Did anybody get it right?
Yeah, they got it right.
Oh, because you told me the answer
I
beforehand like you did me?
would literally never give them the answer beforehand. It's so unfair to do that.
Sounds it.
Anyway, but it was good. There was some bright spots and also a really sad thing. Teamer got hurt.
No, you were telling me about it. You have to had to have had Big Ten Plus, I think. So
Yes.
I don't have that. So.
Correct. Yeah, it was really sad. I think it was a hamstring, but he came out on crutches the second half of the duel after intermission. So prayers for him. Hopefully he gets better very soon because that is a very fun person to watch.
Oh, really?
He's so good. Yes. He's kind of like, he has the like swag of like Pat Lugo,
Okay.
you know, where like there's just something, I don't want to use this word because it sounds weird coming out of my mouth, but like as a fan, like just attractive, you know, where it's like, he's like got swag. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like confident?
Yeah. Like, you know, you watch Pat.
You're quite
you
confident.
watch Lugo.
Yeah.
And you're always like, yeah, he has something like about him that's just like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, he's really cool, really fun to watch. And so yeah, hopefully he gets better soon. And he was ranked number 1 in the nation. So
Oh, yeah. Well,
that'll do it too.
yeah, that'll do it too.
Yeah. And then let's see, Patrick Kennedy wrestled. He wrestled really well. That was fun to watch. And Angelo Ferrari had his debut in Carver and wrestled really well too. I can't remember.
He had a parting
He might
gift for Iowa State, right?
Yeah, he blew him a kiss. It's kind of funny. Everybody got so excited. Like anytime something like that happens, everyone's like, yeah.
We've talked about this before, but the difference between like wrestling and doing that, and you couldn't imagine somebody from KF's team doing that.
No, if they did, you'd be like, oh no.
He's gone. See ya.
Not only that, but you'd be like, oh, that is not us. But the Iowa wrestling doesn't. You're like, yeah, that's totally us. I love that.
Agreed.
Yeah. It was a good duel. I'm trying to think if there was any other. There's something I'm definitely forgetting, but it was a lot of fun. Good to get the win, of course.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
What? I was talking about it. I was talking about wrestling.
Oh,
It was good for them to get the win.
It's good for Iowa football to get the win. So let's talk about it.
2 wins in a row on the same day. Cool. Against red teams. Amazing. Even better.
I think most teams in the Big Ten are red, even though Iowa State's not Big Ten, but
Penn State is not. Michigan State is not. Minnesota, I'd argue, is not.
Ohio State is.
Northwestern is not.
Ohio State, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Indiana, Rutgers, Maryland.
6.
Oh, USC.
Anything else?
USC, that's 7.
Okay, 7.
That's almost half.
How many teams are in the Big Ten now?
No. I thought it was like 18. Ha!
How did you know that?
Thank you.
Oh, you did? Okay, thanks, Matthew. Okay, so there's 18.
Yeah, so that's almost half I've read.
I don't know.
And I might even be missing some. But
I don't think you are. Anyway, okay, let's talk about Maryland.
Jackson Stratton, first career start.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they did a good job of having him go in rhythm early. You knew we were going to get a lot of Caleb Johnson. You knew we were going to run the ball a lot with a new quarterback, and also with kind of how Iowa's offense has been. When the old line's humming and doing their job at a really high clip, even though unfortunately Jennings Dunker wasn't playing.
Yeah, why was that? Do you know? I don't know either.
I don't, but Nick DeYoung stepped in. I think he did really well. I think Caleb Johnson was at like 80 some yards at the end of the first quarter. At the end of the first half, he was up there almost 100 yards. And going back to Jackson Stratton, he was making quick decisions and throwing on time. And what I mean by throwing on time is, okay, he's throwing a quick hitch. That's 3 steps, balls out. So you're under center. He's right-handed, so he goes right foot back, right foot back, and then he plants off that right foot to throw. So the ball's out quick. And when you're making quick decisions, you don't give the defense an opportunity to get in a position that's bad, especially if you're reading it correctly. So that was the first thing. It did that quite a few times where it's 3 steps, ball out. The next one that I thought was really good, there was like I'm blanking, but we were going right to left on the TV screen. I believe it was Jerry Bowie on the outside was running a curl, which is 12 yards and back, or a hook, depending upon your verbiage. And Jacob Gill ran outside his guy. So it's it's a deeper route. So it's not just a 3-step, it's a 3-step and a hitch. So again, takes a snap.
I'm really good at that.
A hitch?
3 steps and a hitch.
Yeah, I've seen your quarterback footwork.
I know.
You and Dax. So takes a snap, right foot, right foot, does a little shimmy, which is what we call a hitch. It'll shimmy forward into the pocket, ball's out. Like 3 and a hitch, ball should be out. And like that kind of stuff was really good to see. That quick decisions, ball was out. Wasn't afraid to throw the check down, right? Caleb Johnson had a couple catches. So I thought there were some really good things he did. He wasn't asked to win
interesting.
the game, but
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you know what's so interesting about Jackson is that you kind of at this point kind of have to feel like, yeah, I don't really have anything to lose. Like kind of thing.
Stratton.
Yeah, like I feel like if I was a coach, I'd be like, look, you're like our 5th string quarterback. You were practicing at linebacker. Like nobody could have like thought that this is how the season was going to go. Don't think about it. Don't overthink what you're about to do. Because I feel like with that kind of stuff, like those quick throws like that could be really hard to not overthink before the play.
Oh, for sure.
Like, is he going to be there? Is he not? Like to try to get something out that quick without overthinking and like overanalyzing, I feel like would be really difficult.
Sure. Or if it all comes with not trusting yourself. You don't trust he's going to be there. You don't trust that you're going to get the right drop.
Yes. I feel like that would be really easy.
Trust your eyes on the coverage. Yes.
But if you're Jackson, I feel like you just are like, I'm just gonna do the thing that I know how to do and that I was coached to do. And we're just gonna go with it. Just gonna go to try to win this thing. You know what I'm saying?
There were 2 throws that he missed.
Okay.
But outside of that, like to your point, like he just stayed in what he does really well. There's an RPO that he kind of missed, and I don't know if he threw it too early or if the receiver didn't look early enough. Because sometimes, like there was one against Minnesota where Cade threw it, and Caleb Brown, I think, was the guy, didn't look quick enough for the ball, and so it looked like it was Cade's fault, but really Caleb should have been looking for it. Might have been the same thing on this RPO. It was down near the goal line. Could have been his first touchdown, but either way, so he missed that one. And then the little short pass on the triple option stuff that we introduced with Brendan Sullivan, just misses Zach Ortworth just a little bit, sails it. But outside of that, there were some really good plays. I thought that he did well.
Yeah, that would just be a really unique position to be in.
Yes, it would.
For a coach, for the team, for the player. It's just kind of like one of those things where you're like, nothing to lose. Go do your best. Like,
and KF talks about Sam Brownlee a lot, who was like the 5th or 6th string. But he's not touching the ball every play. I mean, it's Iowa, so he's going to run the ball. But like, this is the guy who you have to run the offense through.
Crazy. I mean, it's really cool. It's really
Talk
cool
about
to
a
watch.
name too.
What?
Jackson Stratton.
Just sounds cool.
Yeah, it does.
It does. I like the together. Yeah.
And then O-line played really well. It's unfortunate that Kamari Moulton's first touch was a fumble. It didn't look like there was anything with the exchange. So there's a lot of things with a new quarterback. You're thinking cadence. You're thinking, can he take a snap under center? Is he good with how fast the snap's coming him on shotgun? Is he going to be able to do jet sweeps because he's not used to moving the ball around? Is the mesh different, meaning while he hands it off? So like all those things are a little bit different. But Kamari Moulton just looked like he didn't quite squeeze on it quick enough, which is unfortunate because we moved the ball down. But that's the most positive thing, is that we moved the ball with Jackson Stratton. I thought that was really, really positive thing.
Yeah. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah. And it's also helped having Luke Lachey and Addison Estranga back.
Of course. It's just like every season comes with different storylines throughout. I don't know. And
he was the next man in.
Yeah. You're just really living it up in the Iowa way, you know? Like that's the Iowa way.
Tell me about it.
You'd be ready. Be ready when you got to be ready. What do you always say?
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah, see? Jackson stayed ready. Even on the defensive side of the ball. He was ready. Okay. What else?
Defensively, nice to see Jay Higgins back out there. Didn't look labored. Like I thought that he was running pretty well.
They did say it was a hamstring. Boom. See how I did that? Look at me making assumptions.
After I just went off on not making assumptions.
And then they come true. And then that's when I say, you see all of that, people? That's why you should trust me as your source.
So he looked really good. He had another interception.
I just want to clear the air that I was kidding.
Good. Had another interception. Our defensive line played really well. They were running the ball decently at us. So our rush defense for our front four needs to change a little bit, maybe not change, but necessarily. UCLA ran it over us. Maryland ran it decent. Nebraska, which we'll get into. They ran the ball in Wisconsin. So we're going to have to be ready for it. Just need to stiffen up a little bit more. But our pass rush has been really good. Max Llewellyn, I told you, I love watching him because he's so sporadic. And yet there's like a definite, something to the chaos. There's a definite
method to the madness.
Method to the madness. I was thinking order to the chaos. Method to the madness of like,
it's the same.
He looks like his arms are going everywhere, but he knows what he's doing. It's crazy. It's really cool. He looked really good. Corners was a little different. Jamari didn't make the trip. So it was TJ Hall and Deshaun Lee, which we were kind of waiting for who DB2 was going to be. Deshaun Lee kind of stepped into that role, and then Jamari didn't travel. I don't know the whole story behind it. I know there's a few different things out there. So I guess we'll see what happens the rest of the year. It's kind of where I'm at. If it's TJ Hall and Deshaun Lee moving forward, it's really good to get those guys reps. And I'm sure John Nestor will get a couple more too to get them ready for next year, if that's the case. Special teams, Drew Stevens looked really good. He really might make a field goal from 70. Like it's wild.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Hawkeye coaching staff on taking a timeout with 3 seconds left in the third quarter. So they could have just let it go down. It was fourth down. They could have let it wind down. It was a 50-yard field goal. The wind was wild. Like Drew Stevens kickoffs almost always go through the back of the end zone, right? When they flipped and he was kicking the other way, which was after he made the field goal and we went into the fourth quarter, it barely made it to like the 15 because of how much wind was just very powerful. So we took a timeout with 3 seconds left, and instead of letting it go down to quarter, kick the field goal in the fourth quarter, we wanted to keep the wind. So we took a timeout quick with 3 seconds. Like, oh, wait, we're going to lose the wind. Take a timeout. Drew Stevens nails a 50-yarder. And then we go back on defense after taking another 3 points that you can't guarantee we would have gotten that with that incredible wind.
Yeah. Good point.
So good things there. Just he was really good. Like he shows flashes of like, he's unstoppable.
He got a tackle too.
He did. He started the tackle inbound, so it wasn't a late hit. I love how guys get hype over the kicker.
Oh, everybody was like really rallying around him. He didn't flex or anything. He was just, because remember Reese.
Well, he's
flexed.
not Reese. Yeah.
Well, I know, but he just kind of was like, it's not a big deal. Like I just doing my job.
Reese didn't even get a tackle when he flexed. It was just a punt.
Oh yeah. No, he got knocked down, didn't he? Or something.
I thought he just flexed toward the sideline because it was like inside the 5.
No, there was a reason that he flexed. Anyway, okay, cool. So that's all of it. Is that everything for your recap?
And we're just the last segment.
Well, I know. I just wanted to make sure that you were ready to get into your unsung hero.
Oh, sorry.
Act like you've been here before.
I'm waiting for you to show me you've been here. Unsung heroes. I got two of them. So this week's Unsung Heroes brought to you by JB Roofing, Deontay Craig and Aaron Graves.
Okay.
There's a particular play when their starting quarterback went out. I want to say it's third quarter. He's got more mobile abilities. He can break the pocket and things. So it becomes increasingly important to rush with lane integrity. So Deontay Craig's the left end, which would be the far side end as you watch the replay. Aaron Graves is a D tackle. So essentially what normally happens is they bend the horn, which means that the defensive ends try to beat the tackle over the top. So that way if he breaks, they're there to go there. Well, if the D tackles don't also kind of bend the horn a little bit, then there's a gap in between where how far the D end goes and how far the D tackle goes, and the quarterback can sneak through. Well, in this particular one, Deontay Craig and Aaron Graves both kind of bend the horn. Deontay Craig beats his guy. Aaron Graves just keeps pushing his guy back. It's really cool. And Ethan Hurkin on the backside just kind of is working because we know he's always doing something. So the quarterback doesn't like what he sees, goes to rush out, sees Deontay Craig, can't go there, can't go vertical because Aaron Graves is there, has to make a move, and then Ethan Hurkin is able to get the sack. So although the sack goes down as Ethan Hurkin, it's really Deontay Craig and Aaron Graves that did the job to keep the quarterback in. And so Deontay Craig, Aaron Graves, this week's Unsung Heroes. Brought to you by JV Roofing.
Good job. Very good. I like when you have multiple.
Yeah, our producer doesn't.
Thanks a lot, Matthew.
Matty P.
Hopefully that was under a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. He gets mad at me. There's time limits.
Very good. Those were good unsung heroes. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thanks.
Shall we get into the interview?
We shall.
Okay. This was a really good interview. I'm very excited about this. I actually had I had never talked to Hayden before, and I didn't know like anything about his personality, nothing. And he was like a very pleasant person, very funny, very kind. Not that I expect anything less, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah. He was just a really nice, well-rounded man. Anyway, we hope you love this interview as much as we did. We'll be right back. Need a new roof, gutter, or siding in Eastern Iowa? Call JB Roofing and Construction, the local and reliable roofer with over 20 years of experience. They do one roof at a time, unlike others who juggle multiple projects and cut corners. They also serve a 45-mile radius around Kelowna and help you with any insurance claims. Don't wait. Call 319-656-ROOF or visit their website, jbroofingkelowna.com, for a free estimate. JB Roofing and Construction, the small town roofer you can trust. Matt, did you know that Iowa City Tire does more than just tires?
Well, yeah. I mean, they've been servicing vehicles in the corridor for like 40 years.
Right. But did you really know that before someone had to tell you?
No.
Check out how they're doing things in a very different way at Iowa City Tire and Service, where service actually comes first.
The Appliance Barn offers a wide range of high-quality appliances at unbeatable prices.
Whether you're in the market for a new refrigerator, dishwasher, or washing machine, they've got you covered.
They also have a delivery and setup department to ensure your appliances get delivered and installed quickly. To find out more, visit appliancebarn.com.
Well, Hawkeye fans, we are so excited for this next interview. Everyone, please welcome Hayden Large. How's it going?
Going really well, yeah.
Good, good. So I have to ask, Hayden, is that any tie to Hayden Fry?
It is.
So it's kind of tied to Hayden Fry because I'm named after the show Coach. I've never seen the show. I think it's an older show, but the guy's name was Hayden Fox in the show. And it was like filmed even at Iowa, some of the scenes were. And so then my dad named me after the show, which the show is after Hayden Fry.
So
gotcha.
Hayden, hold on. So Hayden Fox was named after Hayden Fry.
But
you're after the character that played Hayden Fry.
Yes.
So you're like a third generation Hayden.
I guess in some sense, yeah.
3 times removed. That is so interesting.
Yeah. So everybody asked me about that. But
yeah.
like I didn't even, so I kind of knew of Hayden Fry, but not really until I got here.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that kind of leads into you weren't really a Hawkeye fan prior.
No, sir. No. And I grew up in Michigan.
Okay.
So I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a fan of a team on the east side. And so I was pretty, like my whole family was Michigan fans my entire life. So then, yeah, I didn't have any Iowa connection at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that That is very interesting.
So we'll get into that. But
Yeah.
go ahead and start your normal first question.
Yes. So we really just like to start all the way back at the beginning. So we know you're from Grand Rapids, Michigan, but we just kind of like to start with like your family, any siblings, what it was like growing up, those types of things. So do you have any siblings and how many if you do?
So I have one younger sister who is 2 years younger than me. And then I have 3 older half sisters who are mid 30s. All 3 of them are mid 30s. So I'm an uncle of 7.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I've been an uncle since I've been 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you good with kids? Like, were you like a babysitter type or no?
Now I am more comfortable with it. Like when I was like 10 years old, it was kind of weird for me to have like a niece. My niece was, when I was 10, she was born. So that was hard, like different, So I wasn't comfortable like holding her, like,
right.
Like babysitting her, but now I'm comfortable with it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And your younger sister is how much younger than you said?
She's a year and a half younger, but 2 grades younger than me.
Okay. Where's she at?
So she's at Dordt University, where I came from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Dordt?
So
hold on. Before you answer that, do you know how to spell Dordt?
A D-O-R-D-T.
That's impressed. I'm impressed too. I'm impressed too.
You guys act like I didn't like look you up before we walked in.
That doesn't mean that you remember.
I'm impressed. So it's up in northwest Iowa. It's called, the town is Sioux Center.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like by like where Coach Woods like grew up. And
where did Coach Woods grow up?
He went to West Lyon.
Hey,
yeah.
So your Iowa stuff is pretty.
So I know
good.
the Siouxland, like Sioux County area pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you grew up in Michigan.
Yeah.
What sports did you do growing up?
So my like 3 main sports were football, basketball, and tennis.
Tennis?
Yeah.
When did you start playing tennis?
Like probably 3rd or 4th grade, I was playing tennis.
Whoa, really?
Like legit tennis?
Yeah.
Or just like.
Well, in middle school, I started I played for the team, tennis team.
Were you good?
Yeah.
Or you're a big tennis player.
I wasn't always big though. I was small. No, I went to like tennis camps every summer. I loved tennis.
Seriously?
But then in middle school, it's in the spring. But then when you get to high school, it's in the fall. So then I chose football.
Understood.
But that was like, if I could go back and change something, I'd put tennis in the spring. Like that'd be awesome because I loved it.
That's crazy.
I feel like tennis is a really hard thing to get good at.
Yeah, it is. I had a tennis coach too. Like I would get coached by a guy, my dad's friend.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay.
So I liked it.
Who'd you look up to growing up then?
Roger Federer. He was my favorite.
I'm trying to think of like what would have been, because Rafa wasn't really on the scene yet. Not Rafael Nadal.
Not as
Djokovic
much. No.
wasn't big yet.
Yeah, no.
Would have been Federer. Andy Murray?
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of him. He was a lefty if I remember correctly. No, he might have not been. Rafael was.
Yeah, Nadal is, but Nadal is actually right-handed.
Is he actually?
But his coach or his uncle, when he was like, I read this story somewhere, so I'm going to credit it to the internet, told him that if you were left-handed, you would be much more difficult to beat. So he trained him to play left-handed, even though he's actually right-handed.
Yeah, but.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I play some pickleball with my son.
Yeah, I love pickleball.
But I can't do the backhand, so I'll just switch it over to my left hand. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's more impressive.
It's impressive. Do you ever do like my mom does like tournaments and stuff now? It's like big deal.
Tennis or pickleball?
Pickleball.
That's
like
funny.
when I go home, like in the summer, me and my mom will go play tennis. Not like competitively, but we'll like hit it back and forth for like an hour.
So are you still like decent?
Yeah.
You can carry a game.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What got you into tennis?
My mom. She liked it. And it was just like she wanted me to do something besides the normal sports kind of. So she's like, try tennis, and I liked it.
Did you ever go to like a country club where your parents
No,
like that kind of
tennis? I'm not country club at all. I'm like, but like I did go to like a tennis. It's called a tennis academy.
Okay, that's like. I feel
but like it was
that's
at a college, and like I just remember going there, and like I didn't have like a nice racket. I didn't have nice tennis shoes, but like those people there are like bougie. Like they came out with their big bags of like 8 rackets, and I come just holding my racket.
I don't need a bag.
I don't need a bag.
Did you play on clay? Did you play on grass? Did you play on hardtop?
Hardtop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really get into there, man.
Yeah, it was a great sport. And I think it's something that I'm going to continue to play too. Like,
right.
I mean, probably not competitively, but I can always play with people if people ask ever.
Objectively speaking, do you feel like there were any physical skills that like you hear all the time, like guys wrestling and they're like hand placement, leverage,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Do you think there's anything, I guess maybe change of direction? Because you have to be able to change direction a lot. But do you think there's anything that
Yeah, maybe
correlates?
change of direction. That's the only thing I can think of. Because
Mhm.
other than that, it's pretty nothing similar to football.
Yeah. Hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That checks out. Okay,
Yeah.
so you said tennis, basketball, football?
Yeah.
Okay, basketball. Tell me about that. Are you really great?
No.
Okay.
I am average at
Somebody
best.
finally.
I'll be honest, I was 7th and 8th man on our basketball team in high school.
Okay.
But our basketball team was really good. I'm going to say that. Like, we were really good at
Okay.
basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But
Would
I'm
you have
nothing
started
special.
elsewhere?
What?
Would you have started elsewhere?
If I feel like some of the guys on the team that were at least studs, I would have started at their schools. Like, so Brennan Sullivan, right? He's from Davidson, Michigan.
Mhm.
And his team was really bad, but he was really good. Like, I would have
Sure.
started on his team because his team was really bad, but he was really good. But
Okay.
I've seen his team play and they weren't good.
So Brennan's good, huh?
Yeah.
Have you seen him play like pickup or anything like that,
Nah,
like recently?
I saw his highlights, his basketball highlights. And they're pretty good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He's from where in Michigan?
Davidson,
How far is that from where you were from?
2 hours, hour and a half.
Okay, so you guys wouldn't have like crossed paths.
No,
at
we
all.
know we know some connections, but I didn't know of him in high school.
Gotcha. So you said you weren't very big, like when you were still playing tennis. So when did you hit your growth spurt?
Probably junior year of high school, senior year of high school.
Seriously?
I was probably 5'10", 5'11" my sophomore year of high school, and then I grew to like 6'1", 6'2", junior year, and then probably 6'3", senior year, and then I grew an inch and a half more in college.
Did you have growing pains?
Not that I remember. No, I really don't remember.
I think that's a lot to grow in a short amount of time.
Yeah,
I would agree.
yeah. I mean,
Huh.
I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bet you're sitting like your sophomore year, like, is this it?
Well, my dad's
I'm
5.
just
No, I'm serious.
saying.
My dad's 5'11". My mom's 5'7". So I was like, well, this is what's meant to be.
This is
Probably
what
at
it
this point.
Wait, so your dad's
Yeah.
5'11", your mom's 5'7". We keep having guys come in here
I
that
don't
are
get
just
this.
huge. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, my parents are like, my mom's kind of taller, like 5'7". Because 5'7", I would say, is like not, I mean,
Well, what's
maybe
average for a girl? 5'5" or 5'6"?
something like that. So 5'7" is like just a little bit over average. But yeah, it's like, no, my mom's this, my dad's like, blah, blah, blah. Like, do you have like maybe grandparents or uncles that are tall?
My uncles are tall.
Hmm.
My mom's brothers are pretty tall,
Like how
Okay.
tall?
like 6'3", 6'4".
Okay.
So that's where I get it from.
So that's
That
where
makes
it
sense.
comes
Yeah.
from. That's what you have to look at when you're getting married. You have to look at which, you know what, your uncles are really tall. Your mom's brothers, their kids have some
That's
hope.
true.
Okay,
You
good
don't
note.
have to say it like that. Our kids have hope. I'm 6 foot.
For being tall, I'm saying like
How
really
tall
tall.
are you?
I'm like 5'6".
6 foot, 5'6".
You just never
Destined to have a 6'7", 300 pounder.
know.
O line.
Destined.
Yeah.
Hand in the dirt.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, so basketball. The reason that we ask so much about basketball is because every guy that comes in here is convinced that they would like start on a D1 team if they hadn't have picked football for their sport.
I'm saying there's probably, I think Luke Lachey.
Everyone comes. Okay,
Yes.
that's a common one.
Okay.
I do not think Jay Higgins. I stand on that. I do not think Jay Higgins will. I will tell him that to the day, but I do not think he could start on a D1 basketball team.
You know what he told us verbatim?
He's LeBron. I saw that. It was
You
like,
saw the clip?
it made me cringe. Like, I was like, dude, stop talking about it like that. And Nick Jackson said it too, right? Like, he's like, that's crazy that you even say that.
Yes. He
Yeah.
also buried Jay on that one.
Yeah, it's like, that's absurd comment.
Is
But
Nick a good player?
I have not seen anything in Nick.
Oh.
He says I think,
He came on here and he's like, I mean, my Twitter handle is even. Oops.
yeah, it is Nick J. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'd say Luke. See, Craig, maybe.
Yep. He was in a lot of
I mean,
guys starting 5.
Yeah. Craig, Craig got built for DN. I wonder if he tried to stay basketball size, you know?
Mm.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's
See,
true.
I feel like we need to bring Jay back on the podcast for
I
how
feel like
many
everybody
times.
is crapping on him. Though. Like going after
There's a lot of
him.
slander.
Not the intent. That's not what we mean.
We just want people to, stand by their word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's a LeBron, then we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you go to the rec and play?
I have not, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say yes, then I can cut it out.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody else comes on and says
Yeah.
they go to the rec.
Yeah.
Yellow pants, John.
You can cut that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yellow
Thank
pants
you.
is our code word, so we can search it. And
Oh, that's sweet.
it's really
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So then let's see. So you're in middle school, kind of like get your last love of tennis out, and then by the time you get into that make you cringe a little
It just
bit?
makes me sound like such a country club kid. But I literally had one racket and would just show up to the courts and play these people.
You did say that. You said you'd show up with one court to the tennis academy.
I got invited to the tennis academy.
That's even more.
Whoa, that's
yeah.
actually kind of impressive.
Yeah.
You had to be invited.
Yeah.
So you like really competed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's
like
really
you can't
cool.
like it's like different though. You know, like my dad, like my mom more than anything, like is a really loud person in the stands. But like tennis, like after you do something, it's only like clap. You can't yell. It's like tennis etiquette. It's like really they were really bad at it though.
Did they ever get thrown out?
No, they didn't. My mom was sometimes like smash it, like just yell at people, you know. And I was just be like, oh geez, this is not good.
That's hilarious. Okay, so then you get to high school. What was your football experience like there? And where'd you go to high school?
So I went to Hudsonville Unity Christian.
Okay.
So I went to a Christian high school, probably about 600-700 in the school. So pretty small. I don't know. I feel like Iowa, that's kind of middle of the road.
I'm from South Dakota.
Oh, so that's probably big.
I mean, you would have been in the biggest division of football. We were bigger than that, but
we were middle, like Division 4. We'd 1 through 8, and we were 4. So my freshman year, played freshman football. It went good. I was small. I played both ways, but like we had I think 14 guys on our team.
Because you were so bad that you just
I got in. Like I played like and like
you got reps.
I got reps. I was him.
You just that was him. Stop.
I'm kidding. And then sophomore year I was on JV. I didn't get pulled up or anything. And then
you hadn't hit the spurt yet.
I was small. I was slow. I played hard. That's what I did. I like played hard, you know. And then my junior year comes around, and I had a pretty good season. So we ran the wing tee.
Oh boy.
So I was the middle.
They run it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was the middle of the 3 running backs. So like we called it fullback, but I didn't do as much.
So yeah, you were
yeah, of the 3, I was the middle guy.
Yeah.
And then I played linebacker too, and that's when I started growing. And then I had a good season. We won the state championship that year, which was really cool. This is probably the coolest thing ever, honestly. And then senior year, going in my senior year, I got injured 2 weeks before our first game. So then I missed my entire senior season.
Oh shoot! What was the injury?
So like, the way I describe it, like, so your hamstring is connected to your like your big pelvic bone, and like when your hamstring tears, it just tears off it. But mine tore a chunk of my pelvis off. So my hamstring didn't tear, but I tore a chunk of my pelvis off.
You said you played hard, but you must have been running hard.
How did you do that?
They said it was a freak injury. Like it was actually because I was growing, my bones were weaker, and like I don't know, it just happened. The doctor said he only sees like 1 or 2 a year. So then I had to have surgery like a week later, and then I was in bed for 35 days.
In bed?
What?
Because you can't sit down with it because it's like your butt. So like I had to lay on my right side for 35 days.
No.
Oh my.
Or stand up. But that
but you probably can't flex anything over here either.
No, on crutches, yeah. So I just lay on my right side, and then I didn't go to school because I couldn't go to school. I wasn't going to stand up for 8 hours a day.
No.
And so then I'd go to the football games on Fridays, but that was about it.
My goodness.
Whoa, 35. What did you do? Like what? Like watch
My
movies?
aunt came over a lot. Yeah, I watched movies, played video games. Just thought about a lot of things, I guess, too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What exactly did they have to do in the surgery then? Like
they had to put the chunk back like in my pelvis, and like they call it like anchors. They like anchored it back in. Yeah.
Wow. Was that super painful?
Yeah.
Painful recovery.
Yeah. The recovery was bad. Like it hurt a lot and stuff.
How long was the total recovery?
6 months, I think.
6 months from being bedridden to performing, or bedridden to walking?
I played basketball in like February, and it happened in August.
Oh, wow.
But I wasn't 100%.
Well, sure. I mean, you got to build all the strength back and everything else, but that's pretty impressive. So I feel like.
Yeah. Did you have to go to like physical therapy and all that good stuff too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot for you to have been what, like 16, 17, something like that?
17.
What year would that have been?
It was my senior year.
What?
2019, 2020. So I graduated in 2020.
So, okay. Because I was thinking like, okay, COVID.
So then basketball too, finally got to play. And then
oh no.
Then like, I remember Friday before like our district championship, get the call, like you guys are going home, game's canceled. And then we were out of school for the rest of the year. So I missed a lot of school. I really, my senior year, I really wasn't in school. I was maybe in school for like 3 months.
You were doing it online before it was a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Did you do online stuff for those like 35 days?
No. So most of the there was one teacher. I'm not going to say his name, but I don't care if he hears this because none of the other teachers gave me homework. This dude came with a stack like this big. I told my mom I'm not doing that. And she's like, I don't want you to do it either. Like, you're a jerk. But he didn't like football. Like, he was like,
he was trying to stick it to you.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know why at that point you need to stick. I was pretty low at that point. Yeah. I couldn't get much lower than that.
Kicked you while you were down for 35 days.
No.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Okay,
That's
so
really
then
hard
how'd
to
you get
cover.
recruited? Like, let's start there then. Like,
So-
you're bedridden, you missed.
Yeah,
the
so
year.
then they kind of told me, like, you probably recover pretty well from this, but you don't really know.
By they.
The doctors.
Okay.
The doctors and, like, my physical therapist, because it was tough. Like, it wasn't going great, like, the physical therapy. Like, I couldn't really run for a
Sure.
while. So then I kind of told coaches, like, I don't know if I'll ever play again kind of thing. Like, I wasn't getting recruited by, like, any D1 schools, but, like, some D2 schools in Michigan and then a lot of NAI schools, Division 3.
Did that start junior year?
Yeah, junior year. That's where I was getting recruited. And then when I got injured, they all text me like, hey, like, we heard about your injury. Super sorry. Hope you heal up kind of thing. And then I was like, a couple months later, I had to tell them, like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to waste your time, you know?
My goodness.
So then, like, it comes around February, I start playing basketball. And then I was like, you know, I feel pretty good. Like, and like everybody around, like, I come from a small town with like probably 10 to 15,000 people, if that's small. I don't know. Iowa has some small towns. But then, so then everybody kind of knew me as like the injured kid. And that gets old real quick. Like the kid that could have been, or like, oh, like he's so strong for going through this. I'm like, come on, like I didn't do anything, you know? So then I was like, you know, I kind of want to play again. So then Dort, I had a pretty good relationship with their coach. I kind of stopped talking to him, honestly, for like 3 months. I was like, I'm done with this. And then I kind of texted him and we started texting and they like, so then I ended up going there.
Offer or?
Yeah, I got a scholarship there.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was nice.
For
really
football?
Nice.
And
Yeah,
everything?
for football.
Like,
yeah.
That's wild.
Dang. So that's a prep school, correct? Or what?
It's an NAI school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah.
Do you know like the whole level?
Well, when
that's
I was-
why I looked at you.
Well, when I was reading up on you before I came, it said something about like a prep school. But maybe
It's
that's
a-
just how they.
It's a Christian school. It's like religious.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that, I don't know.
I don't think that would have played into the prep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
don't know.
it's not like a glorified high school.
No, it's a 4-year.
Yeah.
4-year school.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your experience like there?
Get back to the mic. So I loved it. I did. It was nice, like getting away from everybody, and like I didn't know anybody there, so it was cool, like meeting a bunch of people. I liked the small town lifestyle, and it was fun playing football there too. Like playing again. I started every game I was there since freshman, so that was cool.
Was that at that time because you really hadn't played tight end,
Yeah, no,
right? So were you playing tight end there?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
That had to have meant a lot to you that you go through all of that and then still somebody was willing to kind of like, I don't want to say take a chance, but maybe kind of felt like they were kind of taking a chance on you with not knowing how
100%.
everything was going to like recover and all of that kind of stuff. That
Yeah.
probably was like meant a lot, right?
yeah. It did.
moment.
I was super blessed with the opportunity, and I like try to make the most out of it. You know, because I think people do that I think it happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then, so then played 2.5 years there. Met a lot of great people. We have a redshirt sophomore linebacker, Landon Van Kickericks.
That's a name.
Yeah. So he's number 23. Like he's on Iowa.
Mhm.
So his older brother was like my best friend at Dort, and I lived on their farm for 7 months there when I lived off campus. So that was really cool experience too at Dort.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of farm was it?
Cattle.
Cattle farm?
Yeah.
Did
you
you
have
like do work?
No, I've helped a couple times, but I didn't have like chores or like actually like have to do a lot.
Did you have any background of farming
No.
before you got there?
No. So I've
Oh.
done like landscaping, construction, and roofing. My
Gotcha.
like when I was in middle school and high school, but no like farming. It's different,
Very
Yeah.
and it's actually like dangerous too. Like if you're
Yeah.
not knowing what you're doing, those things can run in you pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So when you say cattle farm, like what did they do? Like,
beef.
okay.
Yeah,
Understood.
yeah, beef.
So not like milk,
No,
that kind of
no
thing.
beef.
Okay. Because raw milk is good. You drink raw milk?
I haven't. I think I did in like elementary school. I
It's
tried
pretty
it.
good.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't that big yet.
No, probably not. But some people. If you live on a milk
Well,
farm.
He wasn't that.
I know.
Yeah.
You're saying raw milk like right from the udder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't pasteurize it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I think I went on a field trip and they like you go under.
On a field trip, you did that?
I feel like that's.
I'm pretty sure. That might not be true,
What
but
school did you go
I
to?
was just about to say.
I'm pretty sure I
All
swear.
right, kids, lay down. Try it out.
I could be wrong, but I feel like
a
I'm
field
right
trip.
about that.
That's crazy. You definitely dreamt that.
Probably did. I don't know. Maybe I just want to try it. I don't know.
I just want to try.
I'm kidding.
There's plenty of places around here you could do that. We could set you up.
All right, I'm gonna get us back on track here. So towards the end of your time at Dort,
Yep.
what made you want to jump into the transfer portal? I guess prior to.
First, so one of my best friends in high school, we played together. He was in my grade. He went to Hillsdale College. His name is Isaac Tesla, and he entered the portal right after their season was done. And he was telling me, he's like, I just need to try it, you know. And he blew up in the portal. Like he had every school in the country offered him. Iowa offered him, and then he ended up committing to Arkansas. But he was telling me, he's like, dude, we just gotta you gotta take a chance on yourself. Like, just try it. So I was like, I don't know, you know. I don't know if it's the smartest thing for me to do, but then I just prayed about it and I just kind of sent it. I just all right, I'm gonna try it, you know. Like I believe in myself. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, but if I don't do this, I feel like I'll regret it.
Were your numbers at Dort crazy?
No, like they were solid, but nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like I was thinking I'm gonna get a Division I offer. I didn't think that.
Dang.
Yeah.
So then how exactly did that process go for you?
So I entered the transfer portal, I don't know, right after a couple weeks after our season, I think. And then I was in it for a week, and then all of a sudden Coach Woods reached out. And I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, wow. I didn't know what to say. And so then we just started talking, and then I went on a visit in January right after their bowl game. I was like, I gotta do this. This is the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Just walking around the facility and everything. I'd never been there. We went to a basketball game too. That was a lot of fun. I don't know. So I just Coach Woods is everything to me.
Well, that's how Matt got recruited too.
Yeah, he's the same dude that recruited me.
Yeah.
He was linebackers at that time.
That's so cool.
But yeah. He actually came on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he started off this season. You have to go back and watch it.
I do have to go back and watch that.
That's really, really cool. So aside from Iowa, were there any other offers that you were considering before? I guess maybe I should say before Iowa had offered.
Yeah, I had a couple schools. USD was talking to me.
Okay.
South Dakota?
Yeah. And then a couple schools back in Michigan, but then once Iowa talked to me, I was like,
you're like, that's it?
Yeah.
I'm like, for what? I'm going. I'm trying. My whole thing in life, I just didn't want to live it a what if.
Mm.
You know, if I didn't try it, I told if you live out of fear, you're never going to do anything good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You can't accomplish anything in living with fear.
So then you get to Iowa. That would have been, what year was that?
January of 2023.
Okay. And then,
Right?
Yeah, because it's your second
right.
year.
Yeah, it's my
right?
second year. Yeah.
yeah.
I started doing the math, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that first week on campus for you? Was just kind of oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm
You
here.
came right in during winter workouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my first thing. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Were you Devo 2 when you first got here?
No, I think I was.
For the lift?
So we were Devo 1 right away.
Oh.
All those transfers.
Oh.
And then we got moved into Devo 2, and that's a grind though too. Devo 2
Okay,
is
well,
a
hold on.
grind.
Explain what exactly that means.
Oh, it's kind of the lifting program. So essentially, when you first get to Iowa, you're in the Devo 1, which is we realized that you were probably trash at the weight room, so we're gonna get you as big as possible. And then Devo 2, you just do it a little bit more, and then you go into the team and more specialized stuff into what you're doing. But they try to set a base for strength, so that way you're able to do whatever it is you're asked to do.
Yeah. But I didn't have much experience with lifting either.
But you get after it a bit.
No offense to what NAI schools.
Oh, for
but
sure.
They just can't. They don't have the money and stuff to compete with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So that part was a little bit of a shell shock.
Yeah,
probably.
that was crazy. And then classes were almost more, because at Dort you have probably 300 yards of cement, and then there's classes outside, so you walk everywhere. There's classrooms on the this walkway, and there's classrooms on the side, so it's really easy to find your class.
Yep.
I'm looking at my classes, I'm where are these things? And I'm driving everywhere, getting tickets. I'm this
No.
sucks. I'm this school sucks.
Do you have a moped yet?
No, I use car now, but like I found the parking ramps very like it's efficient. Like it's not that cheap, like not that expensive. So I do that.
Okay, so you still drive to all your classes?
Okay, I'm only in one class right now, so like one in-person class. So I drive to one class right now.
That's fair. I was gonna say we need to get you hooked up with a moped somehow.
No.
Where are you living right now?
I live in a condo, one university away.
Oh yeah. So you're right there.
You don't have to say where exactly. I just meant like,
cut that out. Actually,
yeah. People are gonna be trying to find you.
People are gonna think I'm bougie because of that one too.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a nice place.
That is a really nice.
Do you remember? I don't know. You probably want. There's an old player, Denon Lamoris. His dad owns it, and so then he rented out to me and Johnny.
Owns the condo.
Yeah, owns the condo, so he rented it out to me and Johnny Pascuzzi.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, really
right,
nice.
We'll go back into it right now.
We'll hop back into it. All right. So where are you living? Are you like on campus, off campus?
I'm off campus.
Off campus. Who's your roommate?
Johnny Pascuzzi.
He a good roommate?
He's a great roommate.
That's good.
I've been blessed with great roommates.
Really?
My first roommate here was Dejan Parker.
Mm-hmm.
He transferred here when I did from Saginaw Valley, and he was awesome too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty lucky.
Yeah.
There's some
really, like, my first roommate, he took my sweatshirt, like the team issue sweatshirt lived at Hillcrest. And I found it. I couldn't find it for like 2 months. And as we're cleaning out, getting ready to move out of Hillcrest, I found it buried in the closet with a mustard stain on it. And I pulled it out and he was like, I kind of forgot that was there.
That's crazy.
Thanks, Reggie.
So we don't steal like clothes. Nice.
Good.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Good.
That's
You're mature
good.
about it.
Yeah.
Reggie.
I will say if I was Pascuzzi, I might steal your cologne though. When you walked in, I was like, wow, he smells lovely.
I heard the term bougie.
Yeah.
Not that. So
I don't know. It's like
I'm
all
explain
roads.
this to the viewers.
No,
So
I'm just saying all roads are leading to it. He plays tennis. He went to an academy. He kind of went to a prep school.
this is making me mad.
And now he wears expensive cologne.
So my uncle.
He's so red.
so mad.
For those just listening.
So my uncle, he buys my cologne.
Okay.
So I have not ever. I don't know the camera. I have not.
It's that one. That one. It doesn't matter.
I've never ever purchased my own cologne. I am blessed with my uncle who buys my own cologne.
It's actually a really nice, thoughtful gift for an uncle to give his nephew because
It's great.
and boys stink.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah. So I just came from practice. I showered, but like locker room showers aren't the greatest thing.
They
so
get done what you
yeah. So then I just wanted to smoke more for myself, honestly. Like, I'm sensitive to smells.
You're sensitive to smells?
Like if like a room smells bad or like I like candles. I'm a big candle guy.
Okay. You're not doing yourself any more favors.
Okay, candles is like a normal thing. Like I grew up with that. Coffee and whiskey is my favorite candle.
Really?
From where? Do you have a spot you go to?
No, I don't. Like Walmart. I always go to Walmart.
Oh, it's not like candle maker. Like you're not going to the mall specifically.
No, I'm not going there.
Not Bed Bath Beyond. Like
So about Beth.
You got an NIL?
Brendan Sullivan put me on this like lotion they have there. It's actually pretty nice. It's like this bourbon smell. It's pretty nice.
At Bed Bath & Beyond or Bath
and
&
Body Works. My
Bath and
bad.
Body Works.
Oh,
I did mess that up.
And what's it called?
It's like a single barrel bourbon. I don't know why it's funny. It's a good smell.
It is a really good smell. It's just so unexpected.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Craig
great.
too.
cultured. That's what I'm learning.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
A little cultured. Coming from Michigan. I get it. Well, I do have to ask you too. When you first came here, you had like really long hair, didn't you?
Yeah. That was down to like here. Yeah.
What made you want to cut it? It seems like every year your hair is getting shorter. Eventually it's going to just be buzzed off.
Hopefully not soon. I just kind of wanted to change. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And like, it was pretty healthy. Like I try to take care of it, but I mean, after if it's in a helmet for so long, it's pretty gross.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't pull out like the Clay Matthews. Like you just couldn't.
My hair's curly. It got like snarly and stuff. Like I'd have to brush it for like 20 minutes. That's a lot of work.
It sounds like it.
But I never
had long hair. Like
I gotta donate it though, so that was cool.
Was it Locks and Love kind of stuff?
No, I don't know exactly what it was called, but I think it was like I could give it free, so somebody got it for free. Yeah.
I think, that
Is
it
that
sounds like
yeah.
it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something at least really
I was
similar.
like, some poor girl's gonna get some gross football hair. Hopefully hopefully they shower that well.
They clean it. They take
would
care of
They
it.
better do
Definitely.
a really good job
Golly.
with that.
The locker room showers just really not that
I go on
good.
you can't trust the locker room showers.
Do you wear shoes in the shower?
No.
Not in the locker room shower. Did you?
No.
Does anybody?
There's a
Yeah, there are
couple-
some guys
there's
that
a
just
couple
wear
guys,
sandals. Yeah.
But
I wasn't worried about
Yeah,
athlete's foot.
yeah.
That's gross.
Some of us are just clean.
You should invest in some shower shoes alongside your
They give them to you.
alongside your Armani cologne. Just
Yeah, shower shoes. I have to say there's only like 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, there wasn't many.
It's
when
not
I
a
played.
thing.
No.
Hmm.
It's not an issue.
okay.
You're definitely one of the more unique dudes to watch because you've got the back plate.
The neck pad,
The
neck roll.
Yeah. Well, it's not like a traditional
Yeah.
neck roll. So like how'd you start playing with that? Or like why did you have to get that?
So last year against like Minnesota, I started getting stingers. So then that's like where you get hit and then you're like,
Yeah.
like shoots down your arm. And so like I kept getting them. So then they said, try this out. It's called the Cato collar. It's the name of it. So then it like restricts it so I don't get stingers anymore. So and then technically I don't have to wear it now, but I'm so used to it. It's like a safety thing where like
Sure.
like it makes me feel comfortable just like not being able to like go back anymore.
You're more like the seal guy, the wham guy.
Yeah.
Like
I did run a corner route against North Wisconsin and they doubled me. And that's where Gill's touchdown.
oh yeah.
So I came out to the sideline. I'm like, yeah, they doubled me.
Dog.
I have a neck roll and they're doubling me.
That was a shot to the ego real quick.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
All right. So the neck roll and the mullet, you kind of just really fit in with the Iowa way, you know?
It's like him and Jennings Dunker need to go.
Yeah.
on the
Are you
same
friends
side
with
of the line.
Jennings?
Yes.
You guys have the same vibe, kind of.
Same
That's a good
mustache.
vibe. I'm taking it as a
point.
compliment too. Jennings is amazing.
He is incredible.
He was on the podcast earlier too.
I'm sure that I actually did listen to some of his.
Yeah.
Great.
That one was wild.
He
Yeah.
was. He's so he's funny, but he doesn't mean to be.
No, he's just natural. Like he's just himself.
Yeah.
I think that's what you gotta
Yes.
respect about him so much.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Absolutely.
He literally doesn't care.
He still scares me that he doesn't wear gloves. Like those are the scariest dudes.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about anything.
Yeah, he doesn't. He really doesn't. But he's also like one of the smartest guys on the team.
Learn
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah. He's
He
just
was-
like all around great guy.
Yes, we had, like nicknamed him just like Range, just because he like is so many
Yeah.
things all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's actually really incredible.
Yeah.
Do you ever go hunting?
I'm not a hunter.
No?
I'm not. No. My dad, I want to try. I actually just texted my uncle about it. I said, when I'm done playing, that's one thing. It's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Done playing like this season. You can go in the off season.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, when I'm done with the season.
Yeah.
He just got a new crossbow, though. But I think that in the
Ooh.
hunting world is like not as frowned upon as like a regular bow. Like
Well, I mean,
crossbow's
it
kinda
takes more
cute.
skill for a
Yeah.
regular bow, but that takes a lot of practice. If you've never shot,
Yeah.
you ever done archery?
No.
It's going to
Mm.
take a minute.
Yeah.
You have to practice a lot.
Are those ones that are like really heavy to pull back?
Yeah. Well, it
Mm.
depends on like how far you're trying to shoot your target, but then you got to count wind. Like it's
Yeah.
a lot more technical than just they're in the sight.
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
Not saying that's not also technical,
Do you hunt?
but I've hunted a couple times.
Okay.
I want to hunt more, but the problem is I typically have something going on when her brother goes
Okay.
because I got a bunch of land in.
Like out by Delhi.
It is by Delhi.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember. A couple farms, and so they put up stands and then go out there. I've only been once to that, and then one time. Well, not one time, but for her brother's bachelor party, it was like 18 of us,
Yeah.
or like 15 of us. We kidnapped him in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. and we took a van down to Oklahoma and went hog hunting.
That's sweet.
And that was a trip. But like he ended up taking, so we could stand in the stand and like shoot them just because they're overrun down there. But they also had one where a guide would go out there with a knife, and he did that, but they didn't. Unfortunately, they weren't able to find anything worth killing. I guess there's like a certain thing, but we were able to keep the back straps from what we killed.
That's cool.
It's
But
so
it's-
crazy. Like down there, you can like go in like a helicopter.
I think Jack
And,
Campbell
like-
did that.
Would you do that? Would
Yes.
you do
If
stuff
I
like that?
if I get good enough, I would try it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's
Hmm.
there's a lot of hogs down there.
There's a
though.
lot of guys that hunt on the team though.
Yes.
Plenty of opportunities that you
Yeah.
could go with them.
Yeah.
He can teach you the
Jennings?
ways.
Jennings does too. Yeah.
Yeah. He hunts a lot of interesting
He
things.
hunts a lot of stuff.
It's like stews and soups and stuff.
Have you ever tried any of them?
No, I ain't trying that.
Raccoon stew.
I ain't trying
I
that.
don't know. I trust Jennings, like as clean and health, like edible and stuff. But I
Yeah.
just want to try that myself.
I'm not eating raccoon.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I don't think those are. They're not like something I would ever think anybody should eat.
Yeah.
Unless there's like some weird protein in them.
Well, I mean, the wild ones would be fine.
Maybe.
Because you talked about that. Like, you get a city one, it's going to be a bunch of crap. If you get a wild one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, like they're going to be leaner out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. You just got to track them down.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really hunt yet. You're going to get into it. But what other types of hobbies do you do?
So
Outside of cologne and tennis. And...
I love working. Like, and like whenever, like growing up, like, so I had a landscaping job my entire like high school, like, yeah, from like sophomore year to senior year. And I loved it. Like, it was one of my favorite things to do because it was like a pretty cool landscaping company where like we'd do all sorts of things. Like, we'd do like concrete work and like do like these cool like retaining walls and stuff. So I learned to like that kind of stuff. And I also like my high school coaches in the summer roofs, which roofing sucks. Like, that's a hard work because you're just like, the tear off's the worst part.
Oh.
But you make a lot of money doing that too, so it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like doing that kind of thing. I guess my favorite like fun thing to do, I like going to concerts. Like, but I haven't been to a lot. I've only been to country concerts because I'm a country music guy.
Yeah.
But
Country club, country music, it makes sense.
Stop.
out of here.
He's over it. He's over that joke. He's so done.
Somebody's gonna give me crap about this.
What country music do you like? Like, what are the stars that you like to go see?
Luke Combs is my favorite.
Yeah.
But I went to Morgan Wallen this summer
Mm-hmm.
at the Minnesota Vikings stadium.
Whoa.
That was fun.
Those are expensive tickets.
Yeah, my buddy.
He helped you out.
Yeah.
That's good.
Who
Thankful
else,
for him.
who else was there? Morgan Wallen, who else was part of it, do you know?
Bailey Zimmerman.
I feel like I've heard that name.
Yeah. Okay, so
It was all right.
I'm not super.
Yeah, no. But then I've gone to, when I was home for spring break this spring, I went to Dan and Shay with my parents.
oh, they're so good.
That was actually pretty good. Like, I'm not a huge Dan and Shay guy because I feel like it's a lot of like romance. Like, I don't know.
Okay, well, I
Slower.
really like
But when
them.
they performed, it was good.
Yeah.
Like, I had so much fun.
Well, they just like sound good.
Yeah, they
I've
do.
never seen them live, but I like their voices seem like kind of like Rascal Flatts.
Yep.
Where just like they have good, solid
Yeah.
voices, not like radio voices, you
Yeah.
know? What about Zach Bryan? Are you one of those guys?
See, I like him. I mean,
Well, it's like
I
a
like
very
him, but I'm
certain-
not like obsessed with him. Like, I know
Yeah.
some of the guys that are obsessed with him.
so much drama going on with Zach Bryan right now. Hayden.
Yeah, I know.
Not to bring it up, but
I went to John Party though. That was probably my
Ooh.
favorite. John Party was fun.
I honestly, we tried to go to a John Party concert, but it was at a weird like state fair, like
Yeah.
county fair
Yeah.
type of thing. It was like before he got really big.
Yeah.
And it was like a couple of songs. And I was
Is it
like,
when Tucker was there?
No, it was a different one. I was like, I'm kind of over it. But now he's really good.
Yeah,
Super
he
fun
was
to
good.
watch. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Well, you've mentioned faith a couple of times. Obviously, you
Yeah.
went to a Christian high school,
Yeah.
and then with Dort, and then just said like before you got into the transfer portal that you really prayed on it.
Yeah.
And so we would love to just like talk to you about your faith and how you've seen that grow, just like over the years with obviously the injury. Going to a different school,
Yeah.
transferring again, you know, like what exactly did that look like for you?
I mean, I grew up in the church. I had great Christian role models as parents, so that was awesome. And then I guess when I got injured, I kind of took a step back. I was kind of like mad, you know. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Like, this sucks. Like, this is everything like you work for, and then this just happened. So I was like, kind of went away for a little bit, and then when I went to Dort, I kind of started getting back into it. But it's also like that was a Christian college, so it was like I kept like getting like it was never my faith, you know. I'd always had like people telling me like go to chapel. Like, we would go to chapel in high school, we'd go to chapel at Dort, and like I always had people, you know, pushing me. And then when I decided to transfer, so the first time I'm not going to a Christian school, some people were like, this is not gonna be good for your faith, you know. Like, I was different, you know. Then when I got here, I started to make it my own, and like I started not having anybody push me. Like, it's all my decision, you know. So I think that's where like it's important to have your own faith rather than your parents, or rather have anybody else's. It only matters about you and your faith, you know.
In your own relationship.
In your own relationship.
I've kind of wondered that because Matt and I are Christian and we've got kids, obviously.
Yeah.
And I had thought about like a lot of times I feel like when you really come to like strong in your faith, it's like an experience that you've gone through or something where you kind of feel that relationship grow and it becomes your own. And
Yeah.
I've kind of wondered that like with our kids, like you can influence and you can, take them to church, you can do all these things, but there comes a time where they kind of go, okay, well, like, when does it become my decision
Yeah.
kind of thing? Are you a part of like Athletes in Action? Do any of that kind of
So
stuff?
I go to SALT,
Okay.
which is on Veritas Thursday nights, and then I go to Veritas too.
Okay. Gotcha. Out in, is it Tiffin?
Yep,
The one you
Tiffin.
go to?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, that's kind of. And then I had a good buddy in mine in high school die, like when I was a freshman at Dort.
Mm.
So that, and he was like my role model. He was a year older than me. So that kind of like with faith, like that made me like kind of realize that like, tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Right.
Like, you got to look at like every day, like what actually matters to you, like what actually is important and what's not.
And that probably plays into kind of, you said like the way that you go about your life of like, I'm not going to live with a what if.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You mentioned that.
You're not promised tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
That's like sometimes like practice, like I'm not want to talk, but like sometimes practice, I don't want to go. Like I'm just like I'm at Iowa, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff like that. I don't know. I try to remind myself every day.
Yeah, just try to shift the perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Especially when it wasn't guaranteed at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
it's all perspective. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Like you look at the kid captains. Those people are going through unbelievable like adversity right now.
Yeah.
And then you're playing a kids game on Saturday in front of 70,000. I don't think life's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a perspective thing.
Yeah.
And to have that, the children's hospital right there.
Yeah.
And just to like have that contrast is kind of crazy too,
Yeah.
just to shift that perspective on that. What is your major, by the way?
No, I'm a criminology major.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with that?
Another like FBI kind of thing. Golly.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
FBI?
Secret Service is like something I more want to do.
Really?
Yeah. But I want to go into law enforcement though first. I want to be like a police officer.
Okay.
Because I don't know, they say, a lot of like my mentors I've had in that world have told me like, if you're in the street, like being on the streets, you learn more than any like research or looking it up or anything.
So that doesn't scare you at all to go do something
No,
like
it
that?
does, but I don't know. I kind of bring it back to my faith too, where it's like, so my like whole goal in life is like when I die, I want God to say, well done, good and faithful servant.
Mm.
And I feel like that's what he's drawn me to do. So
Yeah.
it is scary, but it's life.
I just got chills, man, when you
Yeah.
said that.
No, I mean, like, that's what I had like a mentor lady in high school after I got injured, and she said, like, what's your goal in life? So you had to make a goal.
Yeah. That's actually really amazing. Do you foresee yourself like, this is post NFL, moving back to Michigan to be a
I don't know.
law enforcement?
See,
or
like my parents, so my sister is out of Dort and she's seriously dating this farmer out there.
okay.
So I'm guessing my sister's going to end up staying there. Well, she is going to end up, if they get married, she's going to stay out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if my parents, I don't know if they'd move out there for her, because I don't know where I'm going to go. Like, I don't know where I want to live. And I don't have a girlfriend. So like, I'm pretty open to things.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't go some places, but other places. I like Midwest though.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, nothing big city though. I couldn't do that.
Nothing bougie. We're not into
Nothing
that.
bougie, nothing big city.
We've covered that. Oh, that's really cool. And then someday we're going to see a Secret Service.
Something like that.
I feel like with a name like Large, I feel like that's in and of itself kind of lends itself to be
Totally.
a good Secret
Yeah.
Service.
Actually, did you know that Ethan's dad is in the FBI?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And
There you
that
go.
Deontay Craig went to a military school.
Yeah.
Like this is
Isn't that so crazy? So Ethan was telling us that like his mom, like his whatever, doesn't know what his dad actually did. Like
Yeah.
knows he's in the FBI, but like he can't tell anybody what exactly he
Yeah.
like ever is working on. And he
Yeah.
went and lived in, was it Jordan? For like 3 or
months.
4 months or something like that when he was younger.
Crazy stuff.
Would you do something like that?
Yeah, I would 100% do that.
You've got the connect. There you go.
I feel like if I had like kids, I think it might change things.
Yeah.
But I don't know that feeling. So,
Well,
I mean, you guys do.
I think you
so-
probably have a good
It's-
idea of that
yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, maybe a little
if you
bit,
even
yeah.
say that in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
you probably have a good idea of how that
Yeah.
impacts your
I
life.
just see how my parents like love me, So
Yeah.
then that's how I view it off of.
Well, and it sounds like you were close with all your sisters and half sisters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about their aunts, uncles, or nieces and nephews as often as you have. So like you must have had a ton of people
Yeah.
all the time.
So my grandparents died when I was at a young age. So that's why I feel like the rest of our family got closer, because we never really had like grandparent relationships.
Sure.
So I feel like that's more of a reason probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
And you have how many nieces and nephews you said? You have 7?
7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there going to be more?
I would maybe guess 1 or 2, but I know 2 of my sisters I think are done.
Okay.
I think they're done.
Well, that's really cool. Hey,
Yeah.
this was so awesome.
I appreciate it.
This is a
It was
great
fun.
time.
Thank you so much. Every time that we have a guy come in, we never know what to expect because like we talked about before we're on air, like every single interview is just insanely different. And although you have the vibe of Jennings, your story is just like beyond incredible. And we just really appreciate you coming in and sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun.
No, that was a great time.
Thank you.
Locally owned and operated, Performance is a full-service restoration company serving Eastern Iowa.
As an IICRC certified firm, their multi-licensed technicians have decades of experience in water, mold, and fire mitigation. Whether it's your home or business, this is the team you want in a time of need. Performance Restoration, 319-626-2292.
Hey, Hawk fans, looking for the perfect spot to fuel up before or celebrate after a Hawkeye win? Look no further than Marquee Pizzeria, located in the vibrant Iowa River Landing.
Their wood-fired pizzas have truly changed the pizza game.
Whether you're cheering on the Hawkeyes or just searching for a delicious meal, Marquee Pizzeria is the place to be. Swing by and experience the best pizza in Iowa. Go Hawks.
When it comes to keeping our home comfortable, we trust only the best. Loudon Plumbing and Heating. Whether it's fixing a leaky sink, keeping the house cool, or making sure the furnace runs smoothly in winter, Loudon Plumbing and Heating is our go-to. For reliable service, trust the corridors best. Loudon Plumbing and Heating.
Looking to make a splash online in Eastern Iowa? Digital Boost is your local go-to digital marketing agency. They help local businesses connect with their ideal customers online.
Digital Boost has a diverse client base, ranging from small businesses to industry leaders, including well-known brands like DNR Pest Control and Advanced Millwork.
Visit their website at www.digitalboostia.com to learn more or contact them for a free in-person consultation. Okay, Matt, so we're taking on Nebraska. As you say, Nebraska. I don't know, why do you say that?
Because I don't want to give them the satisfaction of saying their name correctly.
It's so funny to me how like, I don't know. There's just like I don't want to use the word hatred, but I'll just use it for the context. There's a hatred between like Nebraska, Minnesota, and Iowa. And also, did you see Nebraska storm the field versus Wisconsin this weekend?
Yeah.
That was so interesting to me, but it's because they're bowl eligible, right?
Yeah, for the first time in 8 years. 9
Okay.
years. It said 2016, but I can't remember if that was after the 2015 season or if that was after. They wouldn't have been in a January game, so it would have been the 2016 season. So 8 years, 9 years.
And the fans were hype about it. Good for them. All right, so last season, what?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Last season, I really went in depth on like Lil Red and Herbie Husker. And so I didn't want to do that again. So if you're really wanting like all of the information on the 2 weirdest mascots in the Big Ten, well, Lil Red is mostly the weird one.
Lil Red.
Then you got to go back to our Nebraska episode from last season because it is the weirdest thing. Like he is just odd, Lil Red specifically. So he's the one that's like the blow up thing, just a small overview. So they have 2 mascots. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you some like fun facts about Nebraska. And then
There are those?
And then some famous people that graduated from Nebraska. There's not as many of those as you would think. Or wouldn't.
Shocking.
Well, anyway, they've got 2 mascots, which I don't think that's super common. But they have Herbie Husker, which is like the guy, and he's like the farmer guy. And he wears
Chiseled guy.
overalls. It's a pretty good mascot, honestly. But apparently he wasn't enough. So they also have Lil Red, and they're supposed to be like best friends. And it's just the weirdest thing to me.
It's a weird dynamic.
It's so odd because also Lil Red is like really big. And so it's like he's supposed to be a kid, but he's bigger than Herbie. And so it's like, that doesn't make much sense. And they're 2 different types of mascots. So it's not even like, if you're talking about like a cartoon, they're not even living in the same universe. You know what I'm saying?
It's like when Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah, because Jimmy Neutron's like 3D.
Yeah.
And like
That's
over
Herbie.
exaggerated. Yeah. And then you have Lil Red.
He's like 2D.
Kind of. Well, I mean, not in real life. But yeah, then he would be the like less animated one. Anyway, such a good point. So that's weird. And the fact that it's like this grown man and this like random little boy that are supposed to be best friends. Like it's just a weird dynamic. Not that that doesn't exist, that, you know, they can be friends, but it's just strange. Whoever thought of that idea, I lack the understanding of it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Anyway.
keep going.
Keep elaborating on how weird it is. All right. So I feel like every university has some kind of something like statue or thing that you like touch for good luck, right? So they have Archie the Mammoth, and I guess it sits outside of, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I think it's Morrill Hall. Anyway, you touch it for good luck. It's a bronze statue of this mammoth. So they have that.
You
And
do it on
also-
the way into games? Or just is it
I
like
think
on
it's-
campus?
I think it's just like an on-campus thing for like general student population.
Hmm.
So did you know their names before they were the Cornhuskers? The Cornhuskers?
Yeah.
What?
They were the Bug Eaters.
Keep going.
I want to say they were also the Hawkeyes.
No.
No. There was something that they stole from us, but I can't remember what it was.
I think it was something about corn. I actually don't know this.
Either way,
I
I
can't
know
remember.
that the Bug Eaters was one of them.
Good job. You listen to my segments. That's so cool. Good job. So first they were the Rattlesnake Boys. And then, did you hear me? You were too busy doing this at the
I was
camera.
doing finger guns at the camera.
That you didn't hear what I was saying. First they were known as the Rattlesnake Boys.
That actually sounds dope.
I agree. The Rattlesnake Boys. It's kind of a long name. The Hawkeyes taking on the Nebraska Rattlesnake Boys.
I guess it's one extra syllable.
Boys. Okay. And then after that, they were the Antelopes.
Hold on. That is quite the jump.
Is there antelopes in Nebraska? That's a stupid question, but
Ooh.
is it stupid?
I don't know if there are.
It feels like a Texas thing.
I feel like I don't want to go
I'm
down
thinking of
this
armadillos.
path. Wait.
No. You know what I mean?
Just say it's pregnancy buried.
No.
Antelopes are like deer.
No, yeah.
Armadillos are not.
I was totally thinking of armadillos. I was thinking they were one and the same. Then after that, they were the Bug Eaters. I'm just
I
going to move
think
on.
people have already shut off by now.
I know. Then after that, they were the Bug Eaters. So you remembered that one. Then in 1899, Cy Sherman, who was a journalist, he started
Cy.
calling them the Cornhuskers, and everyone just kind of caught on, and they really liked it. And then there's something else behind that too, but I can't exactly remember what it was. But you're right. There's some kind of story about like Iowa on them.
I don't know if we were I feel like we were the Huskers or something.
I'm going to leave it. Anyway, also Nebraska has a tractor test laboratory that has been open since 1919. It's a really long time, and it's still used today to test almost all tractors that are made in the United States.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, interesting. Also, some famous people. They graduated from Nebraska, or at least went to Nebraska. I can't say they graduated. Warren Buffett. You know who Warren Buffett is?
Yeah, but enlighten me.
No, I'm not going to enlighten you. I was just wondering if you knew.
Oh, I know the name. Yeah.
You looked at me like, who? Warren Buffett graduated with a business degree. Johnny Carson. My dad used to really like Johnny Carson. He's like the comedian
That strikes
had,
me as that, yeah.
what was
Yeah,
his
The Late
show
Show.
called? Late Night with Johnny Carson, like was something like that, you know?
Mhm.
Everyone really liked it. Was that like in the 50s or what?
Around then. I know it was black and white, I'm pretty sure.
So uneducated. We're just asking each other questions.
What's good is that we both don't have the information. So this is great.
Totally. Larry the Cable Guy. That one makes sense to me.
Get her done.
No, it makes so much sense.
Actually, can I say that? Is that trademarked? Continue.
Actually might be, but that one makes sense. Larry the Cable Guy went to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Totally. Next, Jordan Burroughs. He's an Olympic wrestler.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Barry Alvarez graduated from Nebraska. Did you know?
I did not.
Mm-hmm. I didn't either. And then this guy I just picked because I thought his name was interesting. I have no idea like who he is. I wouldn't know his name. Maybe you would. He's a NFL referee now, but he played football for Nebraska. His name is Cleet Bakeman.
No.
No? You don't know his name?
Probably if I saw him.
His name's Cleet. Isn't that so funny? Clete. It's like you name your kid. It's like if you named your kid like
Cleat. Football.
No. They could have played like baseball too, because you wear cleats in baseball. This is so pointless. It feels so bad for anybody like listening to this. Last one, Evan Williams. I'm pretty sure I mentioned him last year when we were talking about Nebraska. He's the founder of Twitter.
Well, not Twitter.
Now
well,
it's
I
X.
guess at that point it would have been Twitter.
It would have been Twitter, yeah, originally. Correct. It's okay. There you go.
Very cool.
Thank you for your contribution to that segment, Matt.
You're welcome.
Gosh. Okay.
That's
So
great.
tell me about Nebraska, Matt.
Well, they have a true freshman at quarterback, Dylan Raiola,
Oh, okay.
who a lot of people think he's got the same mannerisms as.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Which
And
I
the same
think
haircut. And he also wears a headband.
he's also 15.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
I'm not saying that he's copying him, but I'm also not saying that.
Well, so far, 12 touchdowns to 10 picks. We're going to get opportunity. Like, that's the thing is there's so many quarterbacks. It's interesting to me how many quarterbacks we face that have double-digit interceptions.
But you know what else is interesting, Matt? People always say that, I shouldn't, this is a generalization, but generally, I should say that as a disclaimer. Generally, I think there are some people that get a little frustrated with like run first offenses or like run heavy offenses. Like they get a little frustrated with Iowa sometimes on the way that like they tend to do it. But then you look at like Wisconsin, who's trying to go through like that kind of like transition into throwing it more. And it's like, well, that's not really working out that well, you know? But it's like, that's more of like the new way of football, it feels like, to like throw it more and like take more chances and be more flashy. But when you have a really good defense like Iowa, like just more opportunities to slip up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What?
That there's more opportunities for turnovers through the air than there is on the ground. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah. And it just seems like a lot of the teams that you have talked about this season that tend or are trying to throw it more also have a lot of mistakes. And I feel like Iowa has just always been risk averse. Is that what I want to say?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just different.
I agree.
Does that make
Now,
sense?
I think there's truth to your point, and I think there's also merit to what you said on like, okay, this is the way that college football is going, is passing the ball more, but it doesn't have to. You know what they dubbed the Wisconsin transition thus far?
What?
So the air raid
Mm-hmm.
is basically where you throw it all the time.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to be wrong.
So they call it the air raid.
Yeah.
But because Wisconsin still has like the Wisconsin recruits, like don't get me wrong, I understand there's NIL, transfer portal, all that kind of stuff, but they're calling it the dairy raid because they still have like those big farm boys and then also trying to throw it a lot.
Yeah.
So they're calling it the dairy raid. I thought that was very funny.
Who's saying that?
I saw it on I can't remember what article I saw.
Okay.
I thought it was very funny.
Okay.
Either way, yes. And they're still throwing a lot of interceptions and things like that, which not saying our touchdown to interception ratio is phenomenal, but for some reason, I shouldn't say every, but it's interesting enough with how many interceptions do happen in college. Like there was a stat, now this was Tom Brady's MVP season, but through like 10 games or something, 12 games, I think, he had 38 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Like that's wild. But almost everything we see is like 10 touchdowns, 9 picks, 12 touchdowns, 10 picks, like 8 touchdowns, 6 picks, because he's only been playing for so long. Like they're always super close, which again, we're going to have opportunities as a defense because the more that teams throw against us, the more opportunities we get. Like that's just the way it is with the way that we play defense. They do throw a lot of in-breaking routes, which again, zone might be a little frustrating for them to be able to hit some of those areas in between our defenders with how much zone we play. But their quarterback, he does a lot of really good things, which their big win came over Colorado. Everybody thought that like that was it. Like that's Matt Rule's party because he's the head coach now. Like he's going to take this team over. They beat Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
But then they've kind of been on the downturn until obviously they just beat Wisconsin. But the quarterback can sometimes be lazy with his mechanics in that his feet don't get set. And he'll kind of throw off one foot a little lazily. And I think there's a difference because CJ could throw off balance really well, CJ Beathard, but he would always plant his feet. Even if they weren't planted in the right way. It's not like he would throw falling back. He always somehow got his body shifted into a position that he could throw it well. Sometimes he'll just throw it lazily off one foot and miss the throw. So I think we're going to have some opportunities there. I will say that they've got big body wide receivers.
Okay.
And we don't have necessarily the biggest corners. So we're going to have our work cut out for us on the outside. And that's the other thing about Nebraska typically is that they have like NFL style wide receivers in terms of size. Iowa doesn't necessarily always have the NFL looking guy, i.e. me, versus like the 6'4", 220 guy.
Yourself.
You know, like they got some big dudes over there. They also have I don't want to say he's a track guy turned football player, but number 17, first kickoff against Wisconsin, he brings it back to like the opposing 45-yard line into Wisconsin territory. So they got some speed. They like to use him out on the edge a little bit. And he's a smaller guy, but for the guys that get the ball the most, they're big body wide receivers. They are diligent in the run game. It's more shotgun run game. And they use their running backs a lot in screens, which screens work well against teams that blitz and play man-to-man a lot. We don't do that, which is why typically you don't see a lot of screens against us. You might see it maybe once every couple of weeks because they knew that we were going to blitz on some particular thing because they did their homework. That's great. But typically we don't fall for screens very often. And then everybody rallies and makes the play. But they did that a little bit against Wisconsin. They hit their running back a couple times. And their running back's a good player. Both of them are. They rotate a couple guys. They don't have necessarily the guy, but they got two guys that do well enough for Nebraska. So offensively, I expect a lot of in-breaking routes, and he's going to take some shots. He's going to throw it deep. He's going to try to get a cheap one. There were some phenomenal plays that his guys made in the back of the end zone against Wisconsin and some other stuff. But really, as long as we just play Iowa football, like we just can't lose where we're at. What I mean by that is just keep your situational awareness high, because he's not necessarily a runner, but he'll break out and throw off balance throws. He'll throw it when you don't think he's going to, which is good because then sometimes the mechanics break down and he's going to throw a bad ball. Or he surprises you and he finds some guy that shouldn't have been open in the first place because we're peeking in the wrong spot. So just be fundamental on defense. That's really all we have to do.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, let's assume that Jackson Stratton is the starter as we're talking about their defense, just because we can't make any assumptions on who's going to be healthy. So continue.
Which is unfortunate because obviously Brendan Sullivan's ankle is worse than expected. We'll be praying for a quick recovery. Not sure what all that entails. Not sure if Cade's going to be playing. So if it is Jackson Stratton, and also it was kind of nice to see, we had Marco on the podcast last year. Nice to see him suited up, although he had a cast on his left hand. I don't think he's taking any snaps under center, but at least he was available if they needed him.
Sure. So let's just assume it's Jackson.
We'll assume it's Jackson
because that's the only information we have right now.
It's going to be very similar. Now, the one thing that we did to Wisconsin, I'm going to flip back to their offense real quick, is that they ran the ball at the middle. We ran the ball a lot against Wisconsin. We ran it really well. Nebraska also did that to Wisconsin. So I think it says more about Wisconsin's run defense than necessarily about either team's ability to run the ball. So this game, they've got some big D linemen up front, and they wear single digits. One's 0 and one's 9.
I like that.
With how much you make fun of me about how the 8 and 9 took up all of my jersey, the 0 takes up almost none of theirs.
I like that. That's funny.
And they actually come in on some goal line stuff. Number 9, I think, did. So they got some big dudes up front. We're gonna have to be really good in the run game, especially if Jackson's the guy. We got to some boots. He just has to get his head around a little bit sooner. There's a point to carrying out the play fake, and then as soon as you know, like, you got to turn your head, because otherwise you're going to get blasted. And the first time we ran it against Maryland, we got a 10-yard sack because he didn't quite get his head around in time. Now, they also had a free player. Would have been a really tough ball to get rid of. The second one, we hit Ostranga. He got his head around. So if we come back with more boots and stuff, we just need to get our head around. We need to take advantage of that. They pressed. They always have, again, like NFL-style guys, like bigger, lankier DBs that aren't afraid to press. So we're going to have to be able to get off press. I love the way that Gil comes off the ball. Still haven't seen Reese Vanderzee. I don't know if there's going to be an update on him. I'm hoping that he continues to recover. I mean, it's kind of been took the bye week, and then so hopefully he's able to come back. If not now, at least for bowl prep to be able to play in the bowl game. And they'll also bring pressure. Again, not a ton, but we need to take shots. And I say we need to, like, I mean, I'm not talking fade ball. But Wisconsin did trust it. And they just let their guy win one-on-one and said, all right, here you go. Threw it up. And he made 2 great plays. They did a big post. I think it was a Yankee concept. It was hard to tell. Kind of like a double post concept that we ran against UCLA where Jacob Gill almost caught the touchdown. Mm-hmm. Wisconsin kind of did that, but they did it from the middle of the field. It was a nice, pretty deep ball. Scored on number 23, was on the outside, just kind of weaved him a little bit. So there are deep balls to be had. Not something that we've done a lot of, especially when Jackson has been very good under rhythm. So I think we need to stay with the rhythm of like 3-step, balls out, 3-step hitch, balls out, read your keys, get the ball out, go to the, dump it off. Like if you don't like it, dump it off. Just have the running back. And if it's Caleb Johnson, let him do what he does, you know? And we also saw in the UCLA game that Jackson can use his legs a little bit on that 3rd and 19 where he scrambled. We ended up scoring a touchdown later on that drive because of the penalty to Drew Stevens. Like there's more to his game that we haven't necessarily seen, but to your point, keep him in what he's comfortable with and then maybe take a shot. I feel like at some point we've got to be able to throw the ball deep. And I'm not saying do it over and over again. It's just maybe you do hitch, and then you hit him with a hitch and go. You know, some kind of double move on the outside just to let Jackson show his arm a little bit, but then force them off a little bit. Because if teams know you're going to run the ball, typically they'll put 9 guys, 8 guys in the box, probably a single high safety. They'll bring the other safety down and then have 2 press corners on the outside, which is why we've done a really good job. Coach Lester has done a really good job of bringing everybody in tight. So that way those corners can't press. They have to play further off because we could do anything we want from there. And so it kind of dictates the coverage. So I envision something similar so that way Jackson can get a better picture on what he's seeing. Still do a lot of pre-snap motions and stuff like that. But if Jackson trusts his eyes as good as he did the first time, meaning this past week against Maryland, I think he's got an opportunity to continue to grow. And if it's Cade, it's great. I'm excited to see what he does coming back from injury. But we just need to be prepared for whoever's under center.
What an interesting first year as a offensive coordinator.
Isn't it?
Like, you want to be tested? Here you go.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Joke. He's done a wonderful job, though. Okay, so weather for Friday. Can we just talk about this? The low is 21.
The low?
The low is 21. So you think about like at night, it's going to be so cold. The game doesn't start until 6:30. The high is 30.
The kids will be in bed as soon as the game starts.
That's so crazy. I'm talking about myself.
Oh, yeah, you. Sorry. You.
No.
Toby Keith.
No, I'm talking about everybody, that it's just going to be a chilly one. Night game, 20 degrees. Shoo. Crazy.
It'll probably be a ground game.
A what?
Ground game.
Oh, they don't want to
just
throw
feed
it that
Caleb
much.
Johnson. Which, by the way, congratulations, Caleb Johnson. We didn't talk about it in the Maryland preview, but now I believe he's the all-time record holder for single season rushing touchdowns.
Is it 21?
Yeah.
Cool. It's exciting. Well, Matt, I suppose we should probably wrap up this episode. I just got a ring notification that at the front door, Dax is outside plugging in the Christmas lights. So should probably go make sure everything's okay. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please make sure that you are subscribing to the Talkin' Hawks YouTube channel. I know a lot of you are still watching, and we are so appreciative of you watching over at the Estella's Talk About Network channel. But we'd love for you to go over to the Talkin' Hawks YouTube channel because that's where the full interviews and episodes are being uploaded. So please go do that. Make sure you're liking, following,
commenting,
subscribing on all of the things, all the social media channels. And
TikTok, Instaface.
Stop. And we just appreciate everybody coming back week after week. We can't wait for this week.
All right. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.